Online ticketing, requesting your locates online, accounts for nearly 70% of all locate tickets received by Iowa One Call. The NextGen online ticketing system is a powerful tool. It includes a highly advanced precision mapping system. How the system is used will determine the level of effectiveness and efficiency. In other words, how you use the system to place your locate requests will impact the way you receive your locates. Above all else, this is a communications tool that must be used effectively and efficiently by user excavators so that the locators in the field can comprehend what it is you're trying to convey. If they can't, that may impact the way you receive your locates.
So this is a common occurrence. I arrive to a ticket. In this case, it's for a cable drop. And there's no cable on the ground. I look around and it's confusing. I don't see any white lining. The ticket has to be clear to me. I can't express how important it is. Every ticket that I open, there's 3 components within it that I use to perform the locate, and that's the written instruction, the mapping picture, and physical white lining on the property. And if one of those 3 isn't there, or is, say, like in this case, it's the property is not white lined, then the ticket is unclear to me, and it causes me to question it. Or so I go back to the ticket and I look at the mapping picture. If the mapping picture is too big, or it's in the wrong place, then the ticket's unclear to me. So it's essential for me to have, for me to do my job effectively, quickly, on time, over and over and over again, for the 25, 30 tickets I might do in a given day. I need to have those 3 parts accurate every time, or I'm picking up the phone to call the contractor.
In reviewing tickets, we see multiple things. The biggest one is where the polygon does not match the dig scope. Kind of a second factor we see as well is the polygons a greater area than what's actually needed, or maybe the address is completely off the ticket but the polygon covers a neighboring house or such. Other things we see is kind of a mismatched polygon, whereas things could get narrowed down more specifically, circular or triangular instead of just a big square polygon that we see out in the field. So this ticket was given for some gas work. There was no address given, newer development for a subdivision. Google Images does not always run up to date. There's actually 2 to 3 homes inside this polygon. The work for the remarks was actually supposed to be from meter to service T towards the street at 2nd Street. Their polygon actually encompassed multiple properties as well as to the rear easement. We did not have enough information to go on to actually narrow down the scope of which one to go off of. We would have needed to reach out to the contractor and actually get white flag or white paint to indicate the dig scope. Either that or they would have had to call in a new ticket, which would have delayed their excavation even further. So basically this put them back potentially hours, if not days, potentially. With this locate, the polygon was called in for a commercial property, a single address which encompassed this entire building, right-of-ways, street, cell tower down here with multiple utilities feeding it. In reality on site, if you go to the satellite, in reality it actually was, if I remember right, a 4 to 5 business unit for commercial with individual addresses on each business. So we attempted contact with the contractor to narrow down the scope. Originally what would have been beneficial, instead of drawing a rather large polygon just to cover everything, they could have used different tools, maybe different squares, triangles, or even circles, especially since it was for a soil bore ticket. In reality, we did everything what we could to narrow down the scope, could not reach the contractor, so we actually ended up closing it as not enough information. They actually did get back to us and called in another ticket for us. We met with them on site. They only did 3 soil bores in the parking lot. So in retrospect, this large polygon that covers the building, cell tower, right-of-ways, even neighboring property into their facilities a little bit. They could have drawn maybe just smaller circles for each soil bore, and we would have had enough information. In reality, this type of a locate would have taken 2 to 3 hours with the facilities that were feeding another kind of facility down here, cell tower. Actually, in retrospect, it would have taken 15 minutes to clear the ticket because there were no utilities where the actual work was being done. So just a little bit more work on their end would have made us a little bit more efficient, and we can get to more tickets. And there are multiple tools that are not known to, contractors, homeowners, especially newer excavators that don't know exactly how to use the new NextGen system on how to narrow down their scope more specifically. Especially, for instance, if you have a tree plant on a property or something, instead of encompassing a property in a half with a big polygon, you can narrow down that to a circle within feet.
You don't want to overgrid your proposed excavation area. The NextGen system provides a variety of mapping tools that will allow you to accurately draw up the map without overgridding. And every bit as important as that map you draw with the mapping tools is the descriptive information that you provide in the type of work and other information fields.
This is Des Moines Waterworks locator. I'm calling in regards for your ticket at 8780 Colt Drive. I am looking at the polygon on the ticket right now, and it's a huge area. You're called in a locate from 87th Street west to 88th Street, and from EP True Parkway north all the way up to Cody Drive. That's a huge area. I'm not sure which lot you will be working on, and so I need more definition of the location, or I need it to be marked out in white. So if you could white line it, I'll get back out there today, but you need to communicate with me and let me know what's going on. Otherwise, I'll have to turn this in as insufficient information, and that could delay you a couple days, and I really don't want to delay you and hold you up. I want to get this done quickly and efficiently. The polygons that come with the tickets can be very inaccurate. We get polygons quite often that include the neighbors' houses on either side of the house that wants to be located. They might want to simply plant a tree in the backyard, but the polygon includes their property and the properties on both sides of them. That's not accurate, and that could result in the ticket being turned back in as insufficient information. So please try to create accurate polygons. We need them to be accurate. We don't want them to be huge and overblown. So the ticket gives a lot of information. Some of it's useful and a lot of it isn't. The extent of work gives me measurements that are based on the computer, the polygon. Quite often those aren't helpful to me at all. What is useful is the type of work being done, and you need to make that descriptive. You need to tell me exactly what you're doing. Add any and all comments in that area that will help me understand what you're trying to do. There's also an area at the bottom here for remarks telling me what you're doing. That's another area where you can add detail to the ticket to help me understand what you're doing. What this ticket can do, if you give me the right information, accurate information, is it can help me do a better job for you, and it'll help me get my job done quicker, allowing you to get to the project quicker.
There are 3 things that excavators should do in order to avoid locating delays. The first is to always use the proper mapping tools in the mapping system so that you can accurately define the area of proposed excavation. Next, always supplement that map with detailed descriptive information in the type of work field and the other information field. And it's important to always white line the area of excavation in the field. In order to understand the NextGen system, users should view the online tutorial, which provides detailed instructions on how to use the system effectively. The tutorial is only 7 minutes long and it walks viewers through the entire process, including how to use the mapping tools properly.
The Create Circle tool allows for the placement of one or more circular excavation entities. Click the Create Circle button and enter a radius when prompted. This will determine the circle's size. With the Create Circle tool active, click the map where you would like to place your first circle. You can continue clicking to place more circles on the map. To leave Create Circle mode, click End Circle. The Create Route tool is used for creating long and narrow excavation entities, and is ideal for jobs such as sidewalk repair or utility line installation in areas without established roads. You will be prompted to enter a width. Start creating your route by clicking on the map where you would like to begin. Continue clicking until you have reached the end of your route. Then click End Route. If your route is not wide enough to cover the work area, don't worry. You can edit the route's width after you've drawn it. The next tool is Select Parcel. The Select Parcel tool allows you to use parcel data to map out the work area, and is a good choice for work that is taking place at a specific address. With Select Parcel mode on, click the area of excavation. If parcel data is available, a red border will surround the property, which is typically divided into halves or quarters. You can select or deselect parcel sections by clicking on them. If your work area extends into the road right-of-way, you can use the Extend Parcel feature. To activate Extend Parcel mode, click the checkbox within the End Parcel button. Then click outside the property's border where you would like to extend the parcel entity. The parcel mapping will expand accordingly. To return to the original parcel size, click within the parcel's border. To exit Select Parcel mode, click the End Parcel button. Select Feature allows you to create excavation entities based on available map features, such as roads or highways. Select Feature is the perfect tool for projects taking place in and along road rights-of-way, such as utility main installations or road repairs. After entering a width, click the road the work is taking place on. You can extend the feature mapping by clicking further along the road. To deselect a section of road, simply click it a second time. To turn off Select Feature mode, click End Feature. The Create Polygon tool allows you to freehand draw an excavation entity. In Create Polygon mode, click on the map where you would like to begin. Continue setting points until you have encompassed the entire work area. To close out the polygon, click on the same point where you began. This will end Create Polygon mode. Before using the Create Polygon tool, please keep in mind that it's intended as a last resort and should only be used in situations where no other excavation entity will properly cover the dig site.
Again, it's important to review the tutorial, which details the proper way to use the system. When an excavator uses the system properly, chances are they'll have better luck receiving their locates in a timely manner.